Hi everyone, welcome to this Facebook Live, the Ask Bess show, every Saturday and Sunday at noon Eastern Time. How are you today? Where are you watching from? What's it like where you are? What's the weather like where you are? If you're watching the replay, I'd love if you type in replay because I would like to thank you for that. And just want to welcome you. I'm going to introduce the show a little bit. I am Bess McCarty, coach for business and life. Also for my niche is network marketers, also called the shrink of MLM. But I coach people in all aspects of business and life. And this is a show where you can ask questions below, or you can private Facebook message me a question. Could be about relationships, health, communication. Could be about network marketing, jobs, career, health, weight loss, spiritual fulfillment, any of that. Health, wealth, love, any of those areas. Welcome, Shmala. I'm glad it's recording now. I came back on here because I wasn't sure. So glad we are. Hello, Edgar. How are you? How are you doing? Talking about relationships today, the topic is, as I just mentioned, I coach in all areas, in health, wealth, and love. But the topic today is, I couldn't forget him. And this is a question that a viewer messaged me, and I'm going to respond to that today. Have you ever been in a relationship where you felt frustrated? You can't make it work, but yet you can't forget about the person, and you wonder if you should keep trying or just leave it. So if you wonder, so I'm going to address that today and what to do about that. Just a little bit of background about me. I am a holistic health practitioner, body-mind therapist for 30 years, have been coaching and counseling people. 10 years ago, I niched down to network marketers on the advice of my business coach. He said, well, niche down further. And I said, okay. Network marketers, because I was one full-time for years. I understand the struggles that they go through, and you guys are my heroes. And we know this is a personal growth program disguised as a business. So I help in all the aspects, because sometimes the personal aspects can interfere with business too. So welcome, Stephen. Glad to see everybody. Glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. If you're watching the replay, love if you type that in so I can thank you for that. So, going to invite some people, but first I have this message for you. Why I'm doing this show. You matter. I know you're going through some problems. We all do. That's how we grow. But you matter. I hear you. You're not alone. You can have help. But every problem has a solution. You are bigger than the problem in front of you. And the solution is always within reach. Sometimes we have to be patient or creative, but it's always within reach. And you don't have to do it alone. In a little bit, I'd like to share with you my 4-step real conversations process, how to get from problem to solution in minutes. I think you'll love it. So I'm going to invite some people here and if you know someone who could benefit from this topic today, or any of the Ask Bess shows, I invite you to tag them or share in a personal growth group if you like, because I want to help as many people as we can, and when we think outside of ourselves, that makes us feel good to be able to share it with people. My specialty is helping people to bust through blocks really quick. When clients said, I've gotten further in one session with you, I'm talking while I'm inviting people here, said I've gotten further in one session with you than weekly psychotherapy for 3 years. And that's because I'm committed to getting to the heart of the block very, very fast and very, very directly. And the secret to doing that is my real conversations process, which I've trademarked and I teach people. The secret to doing that is to uncover the hidden need. Every problem is a sign of an unmet need. And so we uncover that hidden need behind the problem, meet that need in a healthy way that the problem's trying to meet or not able to meet. We meet that need in a healthy way and the problem disappears. This literally works with addictions, compulsions, any block or fear that we go through, any negative thinking. You can literally transform that in minutes. So it's quite magical in how fast it can work and how direct, because we're simply getting to the unmet need. So when I discovered how to do this about 25 years ago and used it with myself and with clients, I said I should document this. I should teach this process because it's real simple. It's just 4-step process. and you move from the problem to the feeling to the need to the solution for that need. And I'll explain that more in a little bit. That's enough inviting here. Okay, going to get back to you all. Hey, Lucy. Hey, Kyle. How are you? Hello, Marnina. Marnina is a very good friend, a body-mind friend who understands all of what I'm speaking about from San Diego. And I might like to follow her on Facebook. And Lucy, also a very good friend, network marketer, was a student in our school. And Mr. Passetti, how are you? Follow Kyle too. He's a multi-million-dollar network marketing earner and very inspirational person. I've been following you a little bit, Kyle, and congratulations on all your growth, all of the new cycles that you're in right now. So thank you for joining us, everybody, each and every one of you on here. We have Shamala, we have Martin. Shamala is also a wonderful friend, student in our school, wonderful lady and friend. And Edgar, a very talented chiropractor and also into personal growth. And Bala, each of you very, very special. Stephen, so glad you're all here. I want to acknowledge everybody. Thank you for watching. Okay, so for the topic for today, this is what Amy wrote, and this is a made-up name. So Amy wrote in, I'm having trouble letting go of my son's father. It feels like we're supposed to be together, yet he has become distant and pulled away. And I let him leave because I wanted him to explore whatever he needed to find. That was 8 years ago. We're different people now. I still love him and cannot see myself with anyone else. Although he is not remorseful for the pain and betrayal that went down, like I am, I have apologized for that, but he is not. I don't know what to do. I'm very frustrated. Should I be patient or shall I move on? Very good question, and that's a unique one that maybe a lot of unique to each situation. Maybe a lot of people have felt this way and wondered this. Matters of the heart are really not easy, are they? But there's a tremendous lot of learning in it. Every time that I have gone through, and I look back and say, wow, how could I have grown any other way? I've grown tremendously from going through that and from addressing that. But let me leave you with this hope that every story has a happy ending. If it doesn't, it's not done yet. In other words, if you're in pain, it's not done yet. That happy ending might be that they get together. That happy ending might be that Amy, that you might accept the difference that can't be reconciled, and can be content or peaceful with that. That could be the answer, or it might be that you do get together. But I'll tell you, if you do get together, it's not going to be easy. It's not always easy. It's signing up for a class, for more learning and more training to work through all the stuff that we need to be purified, to learn and grow. So either way, it's going to be a learning experience, isn't it? Amy, what I suggest to you is that if you are in touch with this man, see if he would be willing to hear your feelings and your needs, and speak these without any judgment, blame, demands. Don't let that creep in. Just stick with pure feelings. For example, I'm not sure how you feel, and I can accept whatever your answer is, but Jim, I still care for you deeply, and I wonder if we can work things out. And I also suggested that she include that she feels cautious. Amy, I'll just speak directly to you. Amy, you may be sure to include that you do feel cautious because you have not heard, even though you've apologized, you have not heard any apologies from him. And so you wonder if a relationship can move forward without acknowledging what each person did wrong and have a plan for how to do it differently in the future. So I suggest that you, if you are in touch with him, and if you do want to see if the relationship has any potential for the future, that you say these things. But be careful to take care of yourself and look to see, how does he respond back? Is he also willing to to hear your feelings and needs and to acknowledge them, and is he also willing to express his? And how does he treat you? Does he treat you well? Do you feel good when you're around him, or do you just end up feeling frustrated Keep your standards high and require that he earn your trust before you open him to him, your heart, your body, or anything. Require that he earn that trust from you. Take small steps at a time, take small risks, and see how he treats you. If he treats you well, then open up a little more and see how that goes, and then open up a little more. So that is how to test a relationship to see if it is trustworthy or not. Don't just jump in and say, I'm going to trust you completely or not at all. Don't just jump in with both feet. Test the waters. Go in baby steps at a time. Can anyone relate to this? Please type in yes if you can. Hey, Hallie, how are you? And hi, Sharon, how are you? Boy, you know what? We're all in this personal growth class together. This is quite a journey, quite a school that we're all in. And I have a lot of stories I could tell, maybe on another show, about the past and the things that I've learned that allow me to coach people like this. But here's a big thing. And Sharon says, oh, gosh, this is a great Facebook Live. Just left and feels so broken, disappointed, angry, and numb. Okay, yes. Welcome, Jacqueline. Sharon, thank you for sharing that. You're not alone. There are hundreds of people out there, perhaps even that are seeing this, that can relate to what you're feeling, and including me. You know why? This comes, we feel so devastated and shattered when we lean too much on the man. The only real true strength is our spiritual strength, isn't it? That is where we want to stand. When we lean on another person, situation, or anything in lieu of leaning on the divine love, that will let us down because people are human. Even the most wonderful marriage has let the people down in it sometime because they're human. So let's count on that. Let's expect people to be human, and let's keep our leaning only on the divine love or the higher power or God or whatever word that you want to use. So whenever there's pain, it's a sign of an unmet need. In this case, the unmet need, I believe, is the spiritual strength. And forgetting about it and saying, let me take a shortcut. Let me feel good with the human, right? With the man. Maybe he can be my father that I never had, or the God that I never connected to. That does not work more than for a few minutes or a few days, or even sometimes even a few years. But ultimately, it does not work. And we have to come back and do the homework again of being in touch. Thank you for the likes and loves. I guess that means that you're liking or agreeing with what I'm saying. Well, it's true. It all is true. There is divine love inside you and around you all the time, waiting for you to connect with it. You don't even need a telephone. It's just there. It's just there. All we have to do is open our heart to that and start noticing it. And the more that we do, the more it's evident to us. And the more that we calm ourselves inside and clean up our act, of any negative habits or any negative addictions that can dilute our spiritual connection with God, can dilute that telephone line. When we clean that up, when we do our spiritual work every day of reaching out and trusting and experiencing God, because the love is there already. It's just up to us to fine-tune being able to listen to it and receive it, and then of course give it out to others. But the love is always there. When we try to lean on somebody else, it turns out to be, it always ends up being like trying to control them or use them for our own security instead of doing our own work. It tries to replace God in a way. I call it a false God when we look to other people for what we should be looking to God for. It never works. It always results in pain, sorry. But the pain, what it does is it shows us where we're off track. It shows us that we need something. Like you're driving in your car, red light goes on, car needs gas, car needs oil or something like that. Say it needs oil. Okay, you better pull over soon, put oil in the engine, or else it's going to blow up and you won't get anywhere. And pain is like that in our life. It shows us, it's a favor that says, hey, you need something, better add oil so you don't blow up. The pain says, okay, in this case, the pain is saying, you need divine love. That's where you need to put your your the leaning. That's where you need to put your strength, and your roots is in the divine love, not in another person, especially a dysfunctional person that's not able to return the love. So even in good marriages, the roots are not in that marriage as much as they are in the divine love and the higher power, divine, in our Creator. The roots are there, not in the other person. The other person's an add-on. And it's from the strength, and from our divine strength, that we can then love the other person and give love to them. But that person is not our source, right? The source might be shining to them through a person. Like you can love your loved ones, and they can love you. So it's the source shining through them to you, but they are not the source. That is the whole heart of my inner child work that I do with people, is I show them that yes, love can come in many, many ways, through the sun, through nature, through a child's smile, through a caring, loving mate, through a friend, through a hug, through a smile, a gift of flowers. The flowers blooming, the birds singing, they're all gifts of divine love, but they are not our source. So don't worry when they go away. They're temporary. You might remember my little dog, Charlie. Guess what? I hated to admit it, but his body was not permanent. He left his body, but he's still in my heart and still with me. I still feel his presence. I talk to him all the time, but we were very, very, very close for 15 years. A little guy. He came on some of my Facebook Lives with me. He is not my source, and his body, his physical presence as I knew him, was not my source. It was the divine love showing itself to me, and I enjoyed him for 15 years. And I still do. I have dreams and I talk with him and everything. But that body's temporary, and even souls can come and go in our lives. Yes, it hurts when we have to let go, or we're forced to let go. The only solution is to connect stronger with the divine love and our higher power, which is with us all the time. That's the only real strength that there is. And it's not easy, is it? There's ways to do it, though. One is gratitude. I have two ways, actually. Some people keep a gratitude journal, and they document every lovely thing that happens to them. And then they begin to feel better because there's so much good in their life. Another one that I keep is a miracles journal, like really, really cool things, like meeting someone on a street corner. This is, I've been wanting to meet you right then. Or meeting somebody when I was taking a walk another time, and they just pulled up and said, wow, I needed your phone number. I couldn't find it, and here I am running into you. I call those little miracles, and to me they're evidence that there is something bigger, a divine power out there and in here that is bigger than me. It's working all the time. It's always with me. It always knows what I need, and it always provides what I need. It doesn't make life easy, but it doesn't give me more than I can handle, and it doesn't give me too little so that I'm bored. And when it does give me a challenge, it's just the right amount for me to grow, and it always provides a solution. It's always nearby and at hand. So that's what I know and experience. Yes, I could teach a whole course, a whole year-long course on relationships, and I probably will sometime with the Real Conversations book about that. And what I've learned about that, some people will call it love addiction for the dysfunctional love and all that. So that's a whole nother deep course. If anybody's interested in such a course, let me know. Private Facebook message me, and I'll put you on that list and let you know when it comes out. So welcome, Joe. Glad to see you. Glad everyone's here. Does anyone have a comment? Does anyone have a takeaway? Do you relate to any of this? Have you ever leaned on something or someone when you knew it should be leaning on divine love instead? Have you ever gotten off track, forgotten that, and what happened as a result? I'd love to hear this here in the comments, or in a Facebook Messenger if you want to keep it private. If anyone has a question that you'd like to ask, you can ask it there, and I'll respond to it here on the show. Amy, if you're out there, does this help? I'd love to hear your response too. So, okay, I promised to share with you that the 4-step Real Conversations process. When we look at it in relation to this question that this viewer sent in, we have the problem, the emotion, the need, and the solution. The problem was the pain that she was in. The problem was not knowing whether to forget the relationship or go forward. The feeling was frustration, pain, loneliness perhaps. The need, as I saw it, was to learn the communication skills and then to also connect greater with and improve her relationship with the divine. And I guess that's the solution right there, because the need is communication skills and better relationship with God. How to meet that need is to learn these skills. If you want to learn that compassionate communication method that I mentioned, where you tell the person the observation, feelings, needs, and request over judgment, blame, demands, and all that, and criticism, you can find that beautiful communication system by Marshall Rosenberg, Nonviolent Communication, A Language of Compassion. Marshall Rosenberg, Nonviolent Communication, A Language of Compassion. I'll put that book in the link and get it on Amazon. It's been one of my go-to books since I studied with Marshall years ago, like 30 years ago, I think. It's my favorite communication system go-to book. Okay, another way to meet the need is to develop your relationship with a higher power. And I was suggesting to do that by keeping a gratitude journal or even a miracle journal, the really, really cool things. Then you begin to notice the wonderful things that are around us all the time that we miss, 99% of it. That begins to open up your relationship with God. I'll tell you another tip for those who are hurting today. This is a quick tip that has helped me spiritually to open my heart and heals all the rest of me too, the mind, emotions, and body. And this is a word called HU, H-U. I learned this 40 years ago in my spiritual path, and I share it with clients and students who need help right away. It always makes me feel better when I sing it. It can be sung aloud or silently. And when they've done research on the vowels, they found that the vowel U opens the heart. The different vowels resonate with different organs of the body. So there's actually scientific research behind all this. But the vowel U actually resonates with the heart, and it's said to open the heart. That's probably why I feel good when I sing it. So it is found in the ancient scriptures. It's found in a lot of old songs. But the basis, the root, the HU, is the HU itself. And I'll sing that for you in a minute. Welcome, Amanda. Glad to see you. So for people who happen to be in pain or want help immediately, want help really, really quick to connect with the divine, this is my own personal telephone line that I've been using for 40 years to dial in to the divine love, and I always feel better immediately. It's the word H-U, has very ancient science, Sanskrit roots and all that. It's for all religions. It's generic. It's for everyone. And this is how it sounds. If you like that sound, I'll post a link to that too. You can sing it silently or out loud. Some people like Om, and they get a better result from that word for themselves. This has been my go-to word for 40 years now. I love sharing it. I've shared it with a lot of when I trained therapists, I shared it with them, and they like using it too for themselves and for their clients. So, anybody have a question, a thought? I just wonder how you guys are taking all this. Whether you agree. Did you get something today? Did you get a takeaway? I'd love to hear that. If you got something from this, I'd love if you type in yes, or even what it is. If you know someone who can use it, I'd love if you tag. I'd love if you give some hearts if this has been valuable to you, some likes or loves. Some people even share this in other Facebook groups so that other people can be watching it too. So I'd love that as well. So yes, this can apply to all aspects of our lives. Thank you for listening. The topic next, I'm here every Saturday and Sunday for the Ask Bess show. If you would like a text reminder before each show, please private Facebook message me the number that you would like to be reminded at, and I'll be glad to do that. If you would like to learn that 4-step Real Conversations process, I have an info product that I've made. It's worth $245, but it is yours for free. I'll put the link to where you can get that. When you get it, it comes with an audio, which is a radio interview. It comes with a chart that I made up with a 4-step process, and it comes with 5 e-lessons that come to you that you can study and journal. So I'll be glad to put that out for you. Marnina, you like the hue? Shall we hear it again? Would you like to hear the hue again? It makes me feel pretty good. See how you feel, if it resonates with you or not. But here it is. I'll demonstrate again the hue, which you could sing aloud or silently. Hue, hue, hue. How does that make you feel? Do you like it? You could try it yourself. When we sing like that, it resonate, the value resonates with the heart and opens the heart. Hope it's enjoyable for you. So next Saturday, the topic, I'm here every Saturday and Sunday at noon Eastern Time for the Ask Bess show. On Saturday, the topic will be, I forget it will be how to overcome discouragement, meaning when you pour your heart into someone, like say your network marketing company, you invest a lot of time with people or a relationship, and they leave, what can you do to feel better about that? Rather than get discouraged or say, maybe I shouldn't do this, but it's going to be how to overcome discouragement. So that is next Saturday at noon Eastern Time. Every Saturday and Sunday, the Ask Bess show is here. So we'll see you next time. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. Love to keep the discussion going. Let me know how you've dealt with this, your experience, any questions that you have, takeaways, tag friends. Thank you very much. Take care. See you next time. Bye-bye.